Mr. R wanted us to learn, and I, Micah Phillips Lamb, from his fourth period chemistry, have learned to a B level the following concepts. Chapter 15 through 18 of our chemistry book. This is not an inclusive list, but my selection of concepts from each chapter and that I'll remember. Okay. So for chapter 15, water and aqueous systems, it was mainly about water, and I learned about the properties, about how it can be like a liquid, obviously water, and what it is when it turns into a solid, and how it evaporates into a gas. It also talked about homo and heterogeneous mixtures. It describes solvents and solutes. I also learned about the entire solution process, which helps me understand chemistry better. The fact about that one is that a solvent dissolves the solute, and I'll remember that, so I won't get them mixed up. For chapter 16, it was about solutions, and I think the first section talked about the properties and how different solutions formed. I learned that miscible is when they can merge together, different liquids, and immiscible means they cannot merge together. Factors that affect solubility are mainly temperature and pressure. I also learned that concentration can be measured in multiple ways with different formulas. A fact about chapter 16 is that solubility is often expressed in grams, so I'll remember that.
Grams per
yeah.
100 grams of water,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
milliliters of water.
For chapter 17, mainly about thermochemistry, it revolved around the study of thermochemistry. The beginning of it talks about the flow of energy and heat and stuff. It also compared and contrasted endo and exothermic processes, which I learned about. One of the first section's key points was to know that heat flow can be measured with calories and joules. So I know that now. The second section of chapter 17 taught me how to measure enthalpy changes. I also learned about the instrument used to measure heat, absorption and release of heat, the calorimeter. And an important fact about that is that thermochemistry, what the entire chapter is about, is that it's the study of energy changes that occur during chemical reactions and changes in state. And for the last chapter, chapter 18, it explains reaction rates and equilibrium. That was the title of it. I learned that atoms, ions, and molecules can react together to form products. The minimum energy needed to react is called the activation energy. So if you're below that, you cannot have a reaction. In 18.2, the second section of that one, I found out about how reactions can be reversed, as well as the formulas for the reverse process. Any reaction needs equilibrium, otherwise it'll be too little or it'll be overpowering for the solution or whatever it is you're doing. And the last section of the 18th chapter teaches people about the solubility equilibrium. And a fact about chapter 18 is that a rate is a measure of the speed of any change.
But you learned. Nice job.